Greetings, college family. This is my second podcast, and I'm making use of this new technology facility. I want to share a couple of things, especially on the preparation for our incoming internal tests and assessments, and a number of other things. But let me start with the rains. We've been having frequent rains at the college, and this has affected a number of things, but primarily I want to focus on our mosquito upsurge. We just had fogging on the weekend last Sunday, and we will try to continue fogging as frequently as possible. But I'm going to ask our parents in particular to, if you have repellent, if you have spray of any kind that can keep mosquitoes off your sons and wards, then have them use it, because it's a difficult thing to manage, especially in rains and with water collection all over, and therefore points where they can breed. It's a challenge, and we don't want anything that comes out of mosquitoes being a vector to affect our health at school. So parents, I'm asking whenever you can to get repellents and use them with the boys. They can carry them, but we want to make sure that they're safe. We're also going to make sure that the nurse has some. So that's one. We're coming to the end of the first half of the first term. We're coming up to Heritage Week, and Heritage Day celebrations will be this Friday. And so we're going to spend a little time trying to make sure that the boys get an understanding of our history, our heroes, and what they've gone through to make us be at the stage we are now as a country. But I also want to tell the college men that right as we come back on Wednesday the 22nd, we go right into our in-class tests. And these are the first set of major assessments that you're going to get. So let's start with the 3 R's. Right now, you should be looking at the first 2 R's right away, which is review. And that first review means every class, every day, at the end of the day, same day, you go through that class in detail. You look at what you wrote as notes. You remember what the teacher was talking about. You look at the examples that were given, and you go to your textbooks, which must remain new at the end of the year. You go to Google Classroom, you go to Google, you go to whatever, you go to Khan Academy. You use whatever reference you can use to review the topic that was taught in the class, so you get a different perspective from what the teacher said. That review means that you're going to look at it, consolidate your notes, meaning add to the notes that you wrote. Look back at it, see if you can even recognize your handwriting, but try and see if you can remember all the things that were taught, and supplement that with whatever you read and add to when you go and read whatever references you go to. And there are a number of areas you can use. Like I said, you have textbooks already, but there are a number of online references that you can use for any topic whatsoever. You must do that review for every subject you did on that day, the same day. So if you have 5 subjects, you have 5 reviews. If you do that, then you'll get a good understanding of what was taught that day. Anything you're not understanding, tick it off. Make a note of it. You're going back to the teacher or your friend or anybody else who can help you with it the next day, so you get a good understanding same time. If you put it off, and you put off the review, then you're going to forget. If you put off today's review till tomorrow or the next day, you're going to lose more than half of it by the next day. And the 2 days after, you won't remember anything. You have to do it right when it's fresh, same time. The second R you must be doing now too, which is repetition. And that repetition is really about practice. All the exercises that you get, whether you got 5 from the teacher, or you got an example in the class, or you had to write something, the practice is what you need now. And that's what the second R is, repetition. I've said to you before, writing clarifies thought. So you must write out whatever it is. If it is a paragraph, write it out. It can't be that the first time you're writing about the topic is when you go into the assessment or when you go into the exam. You need to write it yourself, because you're going to find that things that you thought you knew and you had in your head, you can't write them out. So you need to write them out so you get the practice in saying, okay, what was that again? I didn't understand that. What did she? The writing will clarify all that's going on in your head. If you can't write it, it means you don't understand it enough. And almost all of your exams are written. So get that practice. If it's a problem that you have to do, you do the examples and you go and do 50 more. You go and do 20 more. Anything that you have a problem with, then that is what you must make sure you understand. You see the things that you find as a problem that you don't solve, You're going to see them when the major exams come around. You're going to see them on the first or second page. And you're going to knock yourself because you didn't learn how to do it. So that second R, which is repetition, critical. The last R you do all year, read ahead. You prepare for the next class all the time before the class, and it's going to help your learning in the class, because learning is about attaching new material to whatever is in your head already. That schema that is already there is going to help you to learn better. So that's the third R. We have these assessments in class, so teaching will continue. We're not breaking school to have these tests. You're going to have them scheduled in your class time, and that starts just as we return. For those students who are doing SBAs now and who have not been recommended and the lists are gone up, you still can recommend yourself by first going to your class, doing your work, doing the work that is you're going to impress the teachers that you have the ability to pass this exam, and that we have recommended or not recommended you too early, and you have until December to show the teacher that, no, miss, sir, I can do this, and I can do better on this, and I can pass these exams. It's just that I didn't start working, but I start working now. So that is what you have to show the teachers, and that is about your recommending yourself now. Your best opportunity is coming up right now in these midterm tests. So that's the first big opportunity. Show the teacher. Lastly, there's really nothing going on here in these exams that you, and these tests that you can't do, and these assessments that you can't do. You have to tell yourself that you're going to be disciplined about this. You have to get up and do the work. You have to get the papers from last year, work them. Look at a boy who was in the class last year and did these first. Look at the questions, prepare for them. For those who are doing terminal exams, meaning they're doing CXC, CSEC, or CAPE, this is your first big lick, your first big test. Take it on, gentlemen. See where you are. These tests are not just to show us where you are to help you, It's to show you where you are, so you know that there are gaps, and we take it on. All right, gentlemen. I don't want the podcast to be too long. Let's get ready. Fair vet for life.